kids and all. Feels so good. Let me send it around. I'm gonna send it around.
Ready?
Hand it over to me. Return it back to the owner.
There you go.
Good handshake, man.
Yeah, man. Glad to be on this thing with y'all, man. Every episode.
Another episode.
Absolutely. And I think this is just, this podcast is really the version of what we try to do on set, but we always like, we gotta move, we gotta do something.
Yeah.
So these are kind of like those conversations, like set conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
set.
Match.
There you go.
Ooh, wait, I just thought that's a good name. Set Convos.
I know, right?
Anyway, we'll
move on. We still trying to name this.
Yeah.
We getting there. But guys, I love doing this with y'all, man.
Likewise.
Because this is like top of my list of like things I love, and to sit here and talk with two fellow people that love this, like this, the conversation just.
It's like fresh air, man.
Yeah, man.
Because nobody I know really enjoys what we do as much as we enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true.
So a lot of times, like when you try to explain to people, it's like you're finding yourself having to dilute the conversation because they either don't understand respectfully or they don't care.
What's ISO?
Yeah.
And we do this knowing that we about to be on set like in a few days, like putting this right into practice.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember that? Yeah. And it's going to just increase the togetherness.
Like I was saying earlier, that's the fact that we can say that, man. This might ask you, what you do? I'm shooting this weekend. What are you doing?
Like it's your set too.
Exactly.
That's
First time. Pray for it. No,
We got this. We got this. I was thinking. You remember when Finding Nemo came out?
Oh, very vividly.
I don't, because I think I was one of the people who, I was like 1920 or something like that. So like I wasn't really still watching movies as active. I was starting to like work more and go on dates more. So I don't think I was really.
03.
Only reason.
03?
Only reason I mentioned that
right there.
That movie, because right when Finding Nemo came out, Shark Tale came out at the same time, and now you have Pixar with their strong one, and then DreamWorks, which is Disney, came out with theirs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like, hey, I saw Finding Nemo. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I saw 2 seconds of Shark Tale. I was like, what the fuck is this? And just comparing the two, for me, I went right into Pixar. I was a Pixar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never seen Shark Tale, unfortunately. I know the movie, but I just never seen it. I think it's just, again, it's one of those things where I just wasn't in the category they wanted.
Yeah.
And it just passed me by. But what is Shark Tale about, just so we know?
It's like a coming of age story where like a dude that's trying to move on up to like a higher place in life.
Okay.
He like I saw this recently. Like if we had this conversation probably 2 months ago, I was like, I don't know what the fuck it's about.
Yeah.
But I watched this recently, which like I'm super late.
Yeah.
But he lied about who he is, and he became the most famous person. And all of a sudden, what he lied about, he beat up a shark, and the shark, he didn't really beat up a shark. He hit it, and the shark had like peoples who was after, like, you beat up the shark? Oh, we coming after you. So like he was kind of.
Oh, so now he can't live up to the lie. Okay, I see.
So it's kind of like a human story.
Yeah.
And,
So explain why Finding Nemo? What was so captivating?
I feel it was like that family movie. That dad lost his son, and like it wasn't like. I think it was how the movies went off with their idea. Like when I saw the trailer, I'm thinking, okay, he woke up, lost him, and went to somewhere familiar places. He went here. So okay, I can't find him. I gotta explore. Nah, when the ship took him, spoiler alert.
I would hope not. 21 years later, but yeah.
When he got snatched by the boat, Marlon took off, started running.
Yeah.
Yo, come back.
Swimming.
Come back. Come back. And he just, from there, it just took off. The story started. And he's going. He didn't like stop, go back. Like, y'all come help me. He's like, nah, I got to keep going for my son. He just kept going, kept swimming until it went out of reach. And he's like, okay, I got to find where it went. I think he picked up what's those goggles? And it had the P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way.
Wallaby Way, yeah.
And he was like, somebody got to read this. And like he just kept going and going. Just like how his character was like, nothing else matters right now, just my son.
Yeah.
And how it hit you in the beginning on how he lost all his kids. And like, this is my son. I got to protect this boy.
Yeah.
And that was the attitude from the beginning. And when the plot started, it just slammed right into that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was me.
It was like you were on a roller coaster with Finding Nemo.
Pixar knows how to take your heartstrings in this.
Yeah, facts.
Not a tug and just yanks on it. For me, Shark Tale is like, if I watched it at that age, it wouldn't have resonated with me until like I got like to the big age I'm at now. It's like, okay,
I could have just been the storyline too, though. You know,
and there was some Jamaican representation in there too.
Yeah,
like,
real Jamaican.
Yeah, like the
for real,
the Marley Brothers.
Shark Tale?
Yeah, there was like
nice.
two or three of the Marley Brothers. Might have been one of them.
It was.
I feel like I remember that. Like, they were, like,
was it Dougie
performing,
Doug?
right?
Maybe. I think one of them might have been Dougie Doug. He's always he's a resident Hollywood Jamaican. Like no shade against Dougie. I love Dougie Doug. He's a '90s legend, but Hollywood always goes to him a lot.
All that I say, I was a Pixar. I'm riding with them, and they did Bugs Life versus Ants. Another Ants I didn't appreciate till like I got older, but Bugs Life was like hero's tale.
You know what's funny? The reason I chose Pixar is because that reason. Because I felt like it was a bit more adult than the original Disney animation, like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, like. That was more of the comparison I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
They do have Goofy movie.
No, Goofy movie is cinema. That's not a movie. That is cinema.
What's
hold on. Both
pure
you pick
cinema?
Pixar?
I picked Pixar. However, I'm kind of 50-50 because one of my favorite films of all time is Aladdin. It's the first Aladdin. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the perfect Disney movie over Lion King. A lot of people look at me sideways picking Aladdin over Lion King.
It's understandable. As long as you pick from the big four.
I can see
big four.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm kind of the big four. It's fine.
Yeah, the big four, yeah. But I'm kind of 50-50 because Toy Story exists. Toy Story is an excellent film. And that's something we were talking about, rewatchability and holding weight.
Yeah.
Toy Story came out in 95.
Somewhere like that.
I was 7. If I'm 77, if I make it that God, you allow me to make it at 77, I'll be able to turn on Toy Story. And I feel the same way about Aladdin. But it's just, I don't know, it's just, Pixar just, like you said, they tug at your heartstrings and make stuff more palatable and more, you know what I'm saying? What's a more likely story? Losing your son or not getting a princess because an evil sorcerer is blocked. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bit more relatable. But Aladdin is the GOAT. I'm not knocking it. It's just, I think Monsters Inc. is another one. There's a human story, Monsters Inc.
With the big four,
you know what
you have the Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
All those are kind of like fantasies, like, okay, this might happen. It's like
you dating a beast.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pure fantasy.
It could be a metaphor for,
a lot of those things like maybe, and like if you grow up, you'll understand this more. But Pixar, they grab your heartstrings.
Yeah.
The beginning of Up.
Oh
my gosh!
When you were talking about Finding Nemo, I thought about that because it's the same thing. His mom died. His wife died.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Up. Like I understand why you are old man. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Before I get your picks, I think for me it's like it's having like a bunch of good albums like Disney has versus have like 5 classics.
Yeah,
which Pixar has.
I'm gonna have to just not because I'm not doing any one thing, but it is surprising to see both of you pick Pixar. I'm not gonna say I choose Disney, but I want to give a little history.
Okay.
Right?
Love history.
So context.
I would look at this topic as versus, as competition. Right?
That
was the first way I read it.
As, yeah.
And then when I did research, I realized that Pixar had been in operation since 1979.
Oh yeah.
And Pixar looked at Disney directly as a competition for roughly about 30 years.
Until they started.
Until Disney bought them in 2009.
I mean,
money
talk.
No matter what we talk,
money talk.
Disney still win at the end of the day.
That's what I knew. There's a timeline. No,
I get that. And that's going to be the second half of my point. I'm going to choose Disney. Disney because first, they own all that shit. So Pixar, you keep choosing that. Disney own that shit.
Disney go own you
but,
too.
I know, right? I'll be like, damn, I'm on
if
Disney?
The price is right.
Well, they go hop on the news. Breaking news: Disney has bought Florida.
Bro, I'm gonna look like you remember them little. And it's funny. I know this, and I never watched the shows, but you know the Disney teenage shows they had. Remember when they would go to commercial? It'd be like the actor here and the Disney logo.
Yeah,
that's how I'm gonna just end up. I'm be like,
oh yeah,
why am I in this? Why is there a Disney logo? But anyways, Disney. I'm choosing because of the stories.
Okay.
But I will say that Pixar grabs my heartstrings with the CGI. Because they did that, and I don't know. This is where the history kind of gets vague for me. It's like I don't know who exactly did it first, because Disney being a bigger, longer lasting company, you would think that they would have had access. Whereas Pixar, I think it was their sole mission to become that animation company.
Yeah,
and that's why Disney had the traditional flip type of cartoon, and then as Pixar started to come out, maybe they knew word. I think there's even a Pixar documentary of like when they started to really grasp like that Pixar that famous video. Yeah. It took them years to build that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
intertwining that story is Jurassic Park, which is DreamWorks.
Yeah,
intertwining us, and they kind of introduced,
and that's Disney's version, right? See, so I'm gonna choose Disney because I think Disney, for way longer, still at this point, has been proven to be a good product. You know what I mean? I think I want to go with them. They've been around longer, but I definitely feel like Pixar. If this was a question asked in 50 more years, I don't know if Disney wins.
Just like Disney and Pixar, they both have their little things they're known for. You know what I'm saying? These little, you see it like, oh, that's a Pixar movie. Oh, that's a Disney movie. And a lot of that derives from, the directors and the writers, I think so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And every director and writer has that one little thing that's in every movie they do. They're the little tropes, the little idiosyncrasies. For instance, probably the one that is the most popular is Tarantino and Feet. You know about that one, right?
Yeah, that's the subtle one. That's not the real one.
But no. The reason I say it is because that's the one a lot of people think about. I noticed. You know what I'm saying? And it's no longer subtle. It's no longer subtle.
He been called out. Nigga, me too.
Yeah. There's
Luckily,
that.
he wasn't a perv. He's just like really good at his job. He's been an asshole, but he's not a perv.
Yeah. There's a difference. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, blatant. Remember, she had her feet hanging out the window. I'm like, oh, there it is. If this was a Scorsese movie, I wouldn't think anything of it. But since Tarantino, like, you foot fetish bat. So yeah, it's just see, everyone has your favorite things. Like, Tarantino with the feet. You can say Scorsese with the mob stuff. That's his little trope. But my personal favorite one, and it goes across genres, and he's done it in almost...
It's not Tarantino, is it?
No, it's not
It's
Tarantino.
the Trump shot with Tarantino, please, man. Stop saying feet.
Okay, no, you're right.
It's the Trump shot.
Okay, if you want to talk about a good one, yes, it's the Trump shot. But the most popular, that's why I said it. Popularity doesn't always equal good. You're right. The Trump shot is iconic.
I don't know if that's popular. I would probably say, like, character staining. So, like, it's gonna stand out more because it's like, oh, he like feet?
Yeah, but once you hear it, you see it in every movie. For instance, another one,
it's the trunk scene.
But my personal favorite, we mentioned him on this podcast before, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Is the Kubrick stare.
Oh, I love that.
Now
I love that.
And they make a joke about it. Said it's very simple to do the Kubrick stare. You tilt your head down and you look through your eyebrows. Now you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. That's the Kubrick stare. Like that's the Kubrick.
Your hat just covered most of your face.
Yeah, but you get the concept. Yeah. Now the reason I like it so much is because Kubrick has made horror, drama, thriller, and he's a romantic drama, because sometimes drama is not romantic.
It's suspense.
And he's made suspense, and he's made period pieces. So that's one of my goals personally, is to write a full-length script in every genre. I feel like he's done it. And he's done the Kubrick stare in every one, despite the genre. Because people think it's a horror movie thing.
Yeah. The
most famous one, in my opinion, is Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
When he was looking out the window in The Shining. One is because of the tone of the movie, and two, I don't know any other actor that accentuates with his eyes and eyebrows more than Jack Nicholson.
My favorite was Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yes, that one was sinister. Yeah.
Oh, I know this one you're talking about. Yeah.
And that's what I like about it, because he can make a robot though. Remember, technically, Hal did it in 2001: A Space Odyssey, even though Hal is just a blinking red
when
light.
they did the zoom,
exactly. I can't do that.
His stuff is just good.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But that's my favorite director trope. That Kubrick stare, unmatched. Unmatched.
Right. I would probably say, y'all know where I'm going. You already know. I kind of have.
I actually don't. I'm
pleasantly
surprised already.
Well, you know I'm going black.
Yeah.
Oh, I do know where you're going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Spike Lee.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
That was mine.
And it's funny because the way I interpreted the question wasn't just one particular director's move. So I went with his tone of movies. So you could take it, but I'm definitely saying like when he was speaking, I was like, oh, what would be Spike Lee's? And then I instantly thought of the you're not moving, but you're moving.
Yeah,
shot. You know what I mean.
And it's always at a scene of
dolly shot.
Yeah.
It's all a culminating scene.
Correct.
Like,
it's adding to everything that's been happening going together. But I would say, and sorry guys if you see me looking at my phone, it's because I have some dedicated notes to these topics.
Nice.
But Spike Lee, his exploration of Black life is the thing that I love the most about him. From movies like School Days, which is dealing with kids, Do the Right Thing, which is dealing with family, and Malcolm X, which is dealing with the man.
True.
Like, and that's just 3 of his films. You get what I'm saying? So like, I love his tones and and the stories he tell about Black people. So like, he's not afraid. And the thing is, even when I was doing research, he has done so many smaller, less known movies about
so many.
Like Black, like Huey P. Newton, James Brown, like all these movies, and it just when you look at his timeline, it's a timeline that I admire because it was dedicated to telling our stories. Yeah,
that's facts. And they lauded him for it, and he was like, "I don't care what y'all think, I'm gonna do this. Nobody else is talking about my people like this. Why I can't?" Yeah,
correct.
Funny enough, when I watched Inside Man, I watched it for Clive Owen. I love Clive Owen. Yeah. So I'm watching like halfway through, I'm like, man, who directed this? And all of a sudden, Denzel. On a dolly shot, it's Spike Lee.
It's so funny, but it took me like a second watch to realize that. I was just watching and I was like, oh, who directed this?
Yeah, it's like
as soon as the dolly shot hit, I was like, it's him.
Yeah.
That junk hit.
Yeah, and it's just and it's very unique.
Yeah, very
unique.
It's something I wish I could create my own version of, man.
And once somebody does, we're like, you know you got that from.
You guys hit my top 2. Because the dolly shot, I love the dolly. It's just such a smooth and unique shot. It's you can't recreate it without thinking Spike Lee. There's no way you can get around it. It's like that's Spike Lee's shot. And my other one was a trunk shot of Tarantino's. And I love it. It's just like him putting his stamp on it. Like, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine.
And like you can see it coming too. Like they'll walk, you about to do the trunk shot? And you see it, boom, it still feels good. But you don't see the dolly coming.
Yeah,
you always think you do.
But
yeah, that's true. But
I would say like I wish I recognized more of the tropes that the directors had, and I'm solely usually watching movies to gain skills for when I make movies, right? So like I'm not identifying as hard all the time, but I'm also trying to make the films that we make, interesting, right? Especially as we grow through budgets and things like that. But, there's always like, when you're doing this game, like there's always going to be things that people are kind of like over after a point, right? Like, I think the jump scare is just so washed. So like, there's these movie ideas and movie, like basically consistencies that happen. And I think with movies right now, the thing that I'm most tired of seeing.
Now, when you say tired of seeing, you mean the type of film or the
type of film?
Okay.
I'm gonna narrow it down to type of film.
Okay.
The things that I'm most tired of seeing right now, if I had to be completely honest, and I don't want no one to take this the wrong way, it has to be superhero movies.
See, that's fair.
I feel like in the past we would give these movies a break so that the audience can gain that attention, gain a new audience. And I feel like between us going from delivering Netflix DVDs to now streaming, something in between that.
Y'all wasn't there.
They wasn't there.
Y'all wasn't there.
But like, it was definitely something that transitioned to where we kind of started to give up on just like creation. Like you see it in music now where everyone is sampling like crazy. And it's like almost like we don't have enough creation or ideas anymore. And granted, when you go back, there's always going to be that opportunity, I think, because if you go back 100 years, no one was doing this. So now you have the opportunity in that moment. We have to find that opportunity again. And I think with superhero movies, I feel like they started like in the mid 2000s.
I want to say Iron Man came out 08.
and all those.
X-Men was
X-Men and Blade kicked it off. Then
Blade kicked it off, yeah. But like,
Iron Man was
I've
MCU,
never seen a run like this. Because when you go even to Batman in the 90s, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was breaks. Different actors would come along. Now it's like before the movie even filmed, they got a trilogy set.
What? Okay, well,
and you're invested in 8 years.
They didn't take it seriously until Tim Burton did Batman.
Yeah,
they weren't taken seriously.
They didn't take it seriously.
I can see that.
That trilogy is two.
It's Batman and Batman Returns. Yeah, I think it's just two.
That was the first time it was taken even seriously. Before it was a joke.
But now it's like every year you're hit with 4 to 5. They finding comics that like no one ever heard of and just making movies, and it's just like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on? Like, can we give this a break and maybe focus on other types of movies? Okay,
I get what you're saying, but there's a lot of caveats to it. Like, for instance, the material is there. These comics have existed for hundreds of years. But what's ironic is I saw a reel of directors saying, "Oh, I didn't really go back to the comics. Oh, I didn't really read the source material." I'm like, that's making people like Who Kid sound right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not even reading the fucking source material.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I said earlier, money talks, bullshit walk a marathon. If I can take Cardboard Man from 1980
and make who had like a 2-page series.
A 2-page series. And I can make a 3-hour movie out and make $250 million? Fuck your opinion. I'm sorry, but that's what it's about.
What does that do to the artist? That's all I'm saying.
Or
the art, I would say.
It saturates it.
It dilutes it.
It dilutes it. Sorry.
I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with not reading the original IP. Personally, if you're adept at storytelling, you know the story.
True.
And I think it's okay. I need the premise.
Yeah.
And let me run with it because I know if you know the character, this type of character, okay, I'll know what kind of moves next and what kind of how I want the story to go.
That's fair. That's true. But
if you're stuck if you lock yourself into what the source material says, like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, because I want to tell this, but that you get disingenuous. You start following a formula when you want to follow. What does this character want to do next?
Got you.
Yeah. What should he do next? Because comic storytelling is different from film storytelling.
Yeah, no, great point. But my answer might shock you guys.
Oh, will it?
I am sick and tired of seeing slashers.
The hash-slinging slasher?
I know it's going to contradict everything I said. Now, the thing is, once again, the thing with horror, because it's an oversaturated genre.
Liking slasher?
Yeah. Because it's an oversaturated genre, it's the floodgates are open. You can make a horror movie for zero budget and it can get picked, or you can make a horror movie, you can make a horror short and it can get picked up and turned into a feature length. It's very oversaturated. Like I said, like SoundCloud and hip hop. You make SoundCloud, your mama can record a song and put it out there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mama.
It's not like that with action because action automatically needs a high budget because you're gonna crash and burn.
Yeah, you gotta have cars, all kind of stuff that you gotta.
Drama takes fantastic acting, and it's very hard to have that on a low budget.
Yeah.
Comedy is the hardest thing to write, they say, because it's very hard to make people laugh.
Correct.
It is.
Without copying other shit. Exactly. So that's why horror's so easy. Like, oh, this is a guy with a knife and a mask.
It's story.
Everybody's scared of that.
It's story driven. So it's kind of one person has to make a good story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why when I see a good slasher, and I haven't seen a good slasher in a while, because every slasher frustrates me. Like they redid Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. There's a bloodbath, terrible story. Very gory, very slasher eccentric. Like, oh, that's some good slasher.
He's slashing.
Niggas getting cut in half, literally.
What's gonna happen? It's a guy with a chainsaw.
Yeah, and he's super strong out of nowhere. Nobody can beat. You know what I'm saying? But just a story show like, oh my god,
is he dead? I don't know.
Find out in our next 10 films we're gonna write.
Chop his head off and he'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. He's gonna blink. Like,
does this guy have guts? Let's see.
That's a good one. That's like, I feel like the really good slashers died with Scream. Like, and what's funny is I always joke. I say Scream's not a horror movie. It's like a violent whodunit.
So how are you tired of it if it died with Scream?
Good. Oh. Yeah, they're out there. There's so many slashers. You know, that's because Scream came out in 95. That's a bit exaggerated. There's some good slashers since then, but there's so few and far between I can't even name them. Most of my favorite horror movies are ghost-eccentric or real-life-eccentric or a bit fantasy. There's a new one coming out, and it's very unique. I think you saw the preview. It's called In a Violent Nature, where it's from the perspective of the killer. So you know how video games...
I did see something about that.
You know how video games, you see the back of the character.
You're watching them from like the waist up, go through the whole... Yeah,
I'm like, I'll give that a chance because that concept is crazy.
Yeah, that too. But you saw it from...
Hardcore Henry?
Yeah, but you saw that from the
very...
that's
first shooter.
That's like right in the body. Like this is like a video game.
Okay.
You're watching them move.
Yeah, kind of like GTA. You know, open world GTA?
Yeah.
So that would be good to see from the perspective of the killer. So... like give me a good slasher. I'm sick of I got decapitated, so what? Like, you know,
I know what I'm tired of. Is the forced sequel.
Oh, that's a
specifically
good one.
The forced sequel. Like what you're saying with I know superhero movies, but when the sequel is forced. Like, they made this much money, let's make even more money. Like, but
brother.
I'm okay with
or
the
no
story
one's doing
ending.
good. Let's get the gang back together. Like, fuck. Why are we putting out the
know
best
how we
man?
solved this
Remember when the
problem
best
last
man
film?
came out?
Yeah.
I never even saw it, but I was like, bro, we didn't need this. Like, I'll go back and watch the original.
Yeah. That's like Holiday, I think it was called.
Yeah, some BS.
You know you can make another movie, right?
Yeah.
There's other people that can write something. I hate when it's forced. Like, if it ended well, it's like, I'm good. I'm satisfied. No, it's like...
And again, this is why I feel like the superhero, I'm like, yo, we used to be so much more creative. And it just doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like all we want to do is like, well, let's come up with some ideas. What did the 90s do? Like, the fuck we keep doing that?
You know what it is?
What hasn't Superman punched through?
Yeah.
Like,
you know what it is? They always made this comparison. Like, screenwriting teacher always made this comparison about a good story. It's like sex. You want to leave satisfied. And when you think, this worked last time, it'll work this time.
Hey, but
and
people cheat all the time because they tired of the same. They tired of the same movie, bro.
When you do the same thing over, they liked it this time, they'll like it again. It's like, no, spice it up. Like back in the 90s, you either had really good sex or really bad sex. You didn't know what is gonna happen.
Yeah.
It was a nice genre. Now we get this middle of the road. Why they do that? I know why they do it, because when you have existing IPs, you have a built-in audience, so you expect to get that much money. Like, within that first 2 weeks, all their existing audience is going to see, whether good or bad, they're going to see it.
Yeah.
All they care about is that box office number.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they know they're going to recoup their money or even more within those first 2 weeks, make the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their goal. And I think it's good as a capitalistic idea, but as an artistic, it's,
It's just
taken away from art and given to capitalism. With that being said, I think this has been a good combo.
No,
Very
definitely.
deep.
Yeah, definitely. We kind of gave Hollywood a little gut punch. You know
what I'm saying? Like, they deserve it sometimes.
Nigga. Hey, we coming. We coming.
Right? Bring that freshness.
Hey, we're going to catch y'all on the next one. I don't know what he's talking about. Them young boys.
Them young boys coming.
This is the symbol for pause. This is the national symbol for pause. What are you doing?
And this is a symbol for no Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No diddling here. This has been the Three Beards. Not diddling, but we making movies. Look out for them.
Another episode for y'all. Deuces.